Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, and every other number in the fucking universe. We are here working on some HYDRA. Hi. So, to kick things off, of course, we'll look at the polls. We had a couple of polls over the last couple of days. And it looks like, while the Maverick versus Ironsight one was a little bit closer than expected, the Eidolon Thane one seems to be decided. So it looks like Ghost is now Eidolon, and it looks like Marine is now Maverick, which of course means I've got to rename the passive for the Madcap, since they're called Maverick Feeders. No problem there. What's up, Viker? Never heard of Go? Is it even any good for what we would be using it for? Is it like a tool dev language? So I think today the first couple segments for this stream will be dedicated to working on some of the planning shit. It's obviously related to like renaming some of these units, maybe setting up a couple of other polls for the other things that we need renamed. Like obviously, let's see here. Yeah, I think we can get rid of Marine and Ghost. So yeah, we've got a lot of buildings to rename. Okay. Should be good here as well. There's almost always going to be some drawback to any language, so I would recommend looking for a couple of those and seeing how we would work around them. Oops. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter as much. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Is Go is that the language that was made by the Jonathan Blow guy? Is that the same thing I'm thinking of? Because I thought that wasn't even done. Maybe this is a different one. Yeah, looks like it's not the same one. My only misgiving is that it comes from Google, but obviously we're using fucking Windows, so can't be too picky. Oh yeah, let's see the thing I have to do here. What's up, Alexander? I will say for all that Microsoft has why do you advertise me, dude? Uh all of for everything that Microsoft has been maligned for, they're not nearly as bad as Google. Like Google really are evil, huh? It's pretty sad to be honest. Isn't there like a mythological guy or oh no, it wasn't mythological. It was it might even be historical. There was a Chinese or Japanese warrior. I don't remember which. I think it was Chinese. And he stood out in front of the like a monastery, and there were a bunch of archers that like rained arrows down upon him for like hours and hours, and he just stood there. And people thought that he was just immortal and he was still standing guard, but actually he had died. But one of the arrows had like pinched him to the door of the monastery or something. So he got fucking, sort of propped up. Google, you mean? Yeah, besides the data collection, there's the ridiculously obscene amount of censorship, the fact that they buy up competitor products instead of allowing them to exist. Like just have a monopoly on everything, so they have the freedom to do all of the subversive data collection. They're in bed deep with Chinese interests, which obviously is like literally committing war crimes in their home place. So like yeah, it's I mean, insofar as they are evil, it's not like they are uniquely evil. There's a bunch of other big tech companies that are doing the same shit. Microsoft just doesn't happen to be as bad. Doesn't mean they're good. Just by comparison, they aren't nearly as big of an evil or as great of an evil. Obviously, doesn't mean that every single person who's ever worked for them is evil either, but they are complicit in furthering this company's goal. It's just that they've decided that doesn't matter. can't have this be it. This is like Explorer. I have to start documenting some of these references. Oh, wait. Cabarrus was, Cabarrus. I think I got Cabarrus from Wikipedia, so I don't know. Enigmatic chthonic deities. Oh, it just didn't redirect me correctly? Oh, okay. I was thinking this was the healing bird Caladrius. I just I fooked it. That's fine. That doesn't matter anymore. Oops. Well, Vika's done some more documentation recently, and other than that, he's just been experimenting with different languages, I guess. Okay, done there. Okay, good there. All right. When am I pushing the next update? It should be pretty soon, actually. Obviously, I've been focusing pretty heavily on the AI side of things, and that's what I'm going to be doing today as well. I just had to change some names and whatnot. So we will jump into the website here, and we'll say rename Ghost Marine and Medcap Passive. Then obviously in here, I'm going to have to jump into Terran Eidolon and do origin. We really desperately need extended button sets, and actually, Icor says that he should have a way to implement that, which is pretty wild. But what would we use Go for in your estimation, Veek? Would we be using it for, since it's procedural and not generally dynamic? At least that's uncharted territory for it, apparently. How would we approach it? Oh, well, that's a prank. The one place I had to make sure I didn't forget. Destroyed. What did the poll say about Eidolon anyway? Okay. I think I just have shaved off a bit of its time cost here, if I'm not mistaken. 31.25, yeah, a bit, by the way. Minus, so what would that be? 9.25 time cost. And then, what is the Zerg? Okay. And then for Maverick, we didn't have the same mistake there. It's origin. What's up, Ilya? Did you miss my question, V? Yeah, he went by a few different names, though. He was also Spider. I was asking Vic if he had missed my question. For engine mostly, it might work for scripting too. So you're saying we would actually write the game in that instead of C++? Does it support? I forget if polymorphism is directly linked to being dynamic. I'm pretty sure it is, right? So does it support that? Because you said there were going to be some cases where we would want to use that instead. But I mean, you're saying it's similar to C++, not just C. So I would assume it has those features required. Okay, I think we're good there. They have been settled and properly implemented. Minimize that. I did want to put up to some polls today about renaming some buildings, but I don't know what that would even look like, to be honest. Okay, close that. And then, oops. All right. I have some other plans eventually once we have those extended button sets. Actually, engine development streams might be epic. I mean, obviously, I could do some of those when I'm working on the data structures or whatever, but it's not necessarily my speciality. Could be pretty epic. Would be pretty epic. Will be pretty epic. Right, I just realized, just for no reason, of course. Okay. So I'm thinking I definitely want to work on the Zerg refactor pretty soon. Close this. I've also written down that I want to rename the armor classes of small, medium, and large, and I also want to rename the weapon class of normal. Obviously, I've had the concept of units being titanic in size, I think I even put those in the website. So, for example, the Phobos is listed as Titanic for the Minotaur, whereas the Centaur is just large. That might also change. This is obviously Titanic for the Penumbra. Maybe even some buildings would be Titanic, though I don't think so. Obviously, right now, I think the only Titanic one planned is the Lazaleth and the Malcothracor's main head, whereas the segments are large. I guess the Alcatraz is also Titanic, which is kind of interesting, but nothing else, right? Maybe the Othtolith is also Titanic? Yeah, which makes sense, just looking at it. For Protoss, I don't think we have... I think we just have the 2 Titanic units. Oh, I just realized the Star Sovereign has no sight range for some reason. It's weird. Yeah, I think I would just change that, to be honest. Doesn't really make much sense. The most expensive Protoss unit in the game right now. I'll just say... sight range now 11 from 9. I wonder if that would be useful for the Malcothracore, actually. Oh, they do have 11 in here. Okay, so that's just fixing the... It's just correct. Or it was just incorrect in the Frauds Club website, then. Range. I guess another thing I could do on the planning side or whatever is go into... global changes. Yeah, if you can give me the name of the mod that uses it, Ilya, I can take a look. Maybe I would be able to make use of the graphic. Okay, then. So, I mean, if you're confident that you can see a future where we just program like not necessarily exclusively, but for a significant portion of the engine in that, we can give it a shot. Oh wait, that's a good thing to write down. Actually, hold on. I am coming up blank right now for the name of the true damage type thing. I guess it kind of depends on the name or the convention I want to establish for the other damage types. Like Titanic is both a description of size and also a description of like mythological status in a way. Um, I wouldn't want to just use like diminutive or something for small, obviously. Ah, fuck. Hmm. Was it +2 range, Veek, or was it only +1? I don't feel like opening GPTP to check that. I'm not sure if you 100% recall. I just never added that as a notation. It was basically like, I think we were just giving the Bactilisk passive to the... what do you call it? The, like, all Zerg units, essentially, right? Yeah. We wanted it to be consistent there. Okay. What do I want to do next? I was gonna double check here. I wanted to make sure, what is the, yeah, okay, this needs to go. No, nice. This is fine there. Feelings. Okay. Oh, no. I was supposed to give them the... Ah, jeez. I still have the old string here, but it was supposed to be for another ability entirely. Caustic Fission. 1628. And I think it was supposed to be like Glaive Worm or something. Yeah. Oh no, maybe it was like Venom. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that's fixed. I guess we can close this. Yeah, close that. I might also be able to improve the Bactilisk stuff here. Yeah. The way that I wrote that is kind of shit. It's a little too wordy. And apparently I also had the wrong icon anyway, so I'm gonna go fucking fix that. It's using the acid spore icon, which looks better. Yeah, not bad. I'll take that. What else did I get here? Okay. Okay. Should be good there. Now, I shall take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll be jumping firmly into the AI development, because I've pretty much done everything else that I need to do, I think. So, at least for my money, don't see much of a point in sticking with that for too long. So just quickly add all this stuff together, and we shall return momentarily, BRB. And we're back. We're back. Ah. All right. Let's get some AI work done, shall we? Main thing here is obviously the Zerg do not have the new version. Neither the Protoss nor the Zerg have the new version of the production blocks, which is what I'm going to first implement here. I think I started to implement the selection pref. Yeah, I did. Okay. So I don't think I've done that over here yet. Haven't even started, right? No. So where does SLC pref come from? Where's it supposed to come from? I don't think it happens at all. SLC pref. Debug build. Okay. SLC pref. And then I guess that's this. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, I guess we don't really need anything there. Okay. We're gonna jump down to below this. I'm just making sure that everything is ordered in a consistent and clear fashion. So pref p assault, swarm, and air. And this is yeah, we've got personalities, military, and production. So let's jump to Melee AI documentation. We have to rename Zergling at some point as well, which is a bit odd. Oh, they're not even called Devourers anymore, right? Fifth row list. All right, this is supposed to be B. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh wait, I guess I could just do this, right? And then that. Return. All right. Now we get to do the even more fun part. var set pref. Okay. And then what it's like, I forget the death. I think it's a start location, right? Yeah. I guess we can do this. Pref Zergling. So I have to do this for pretty much all of them, and even then I have to do another set without all of the bells and whistles for when I'm calling it from a build. But all this boring data entry shit pays off in the end, as we saw with the Terrans. I think the only thing I'm not super crazy about is that I don't really have a good alternative for Zerglings. I was thinking maybe we could do Zergling, Vorvaling, Nathracor. So you would basically get like a preference for each individual. So you could either prefer double up on Zerglings, or you could prefer more Nathracors or more more Vorvalings. Which I guess could work out better than picking between Zerglings and Mutas. My main issue is I imagine the AI is just going to spam a lot of Zerglings anyway, but yeah, maybe that is actually the better method. And then we kind of do a similar thing for, like, Mutalisk versus Gorgricor. And then Gazithalora versus Vithrilisk. I guess that's probably best. So this would be Pref Mutalisk, and then Pref Gorgricor 0, and then this would be Pref Air Standard. Could Gorgricor. All right. And then we do Prefu Quasilisk. And we have Bactylisk. Or did I not do oh no, well, I put it in here, but what is it? Oh, I guess it just didn't autocomplete for some reason. Quasilisk morph. Maxilisk versus Calcilisk. All right. There's not much left at this point. Whoa! Love that. Maybe this is how we describe it instead. We've got like air heavy, air standard or whatever, and then like instead of hydralisk morph, this can be like pref assault heavy. And then this can be pref assault air. It's just like cleaner, I think. Although I guess Bactylisks and Lechizalisks aren't really swarm, or they're not really assault heavy. Maybe assault medium or something. All right, just one more to do for this. Then I do the buildings. Ref. Sorry, use the left. Left. Okay. Oh. Starcraft Marvel Colony 15. Oh, wait. I just realized there's another one, of course. Sire. Oh, thought that was in the song for a sec. Okay. Print sire, hive, hatchery, lair. All right. Okay, I think we've finally done all of that. And I do say finally for a reason, you know? A lot of setup for this system. Just realized I really did screw this up, didn't I? All right. We don't really have to worry about the build preferences until later, so I'll skip those for now because it is exceptionally tiring to implement that. Instead, we're just going to jump into the add prod block. Obviously, do the same over here. Oops. So it looks like I've already started to refactor this a bit, I think. What do we wait for here? We wait for add prod, can prod. guess we'll just wait. Yeah, it looks like this is very similar to that. I think the add prod weight was revised. There's no longer a 2, for example. Yeah, this is pretty general, actually. Add prod check. Does the preference checks. We don't have to do this for us. We don't have to do this for us, for Zerg, in the same sense. We can just jump straight to this, where it at least calls. And we have a prod starport, a prod nadite assembly, yeah. I don't know really what the key here would be exactly, but I think this is like the default sequence, right? But otherwise, right now we can do like var ex jump. We've got pref larval colony 1, add larval colony check 13, pref, obviously this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, pref hatchery 1, add hatchery 13. No reason for that. Pref layer 1, add layer check 13. Pref hive. Sire. Obviously, we don't bother checking for money anymore in these, so let's take a look. Add prod barracks. All it does is it checks. It does do this, which I'm not sure if we already do here. Doesn't look like it. I'm wondering why the weight 12s are there. Do we ever go back to add prod barracks from here? Doesn't look like it. So we'll probably get rid of this weight entirely, to be honest. Maybe we might just keep it anyway. Yeah, I guess we can probably get rid of the checks here at the beginning of these. Just get rid of this. Take a look at the Iron Foundry setup. Checks for the requirement, checks for the worker existing. I guess we could also check No Town's command center or whatever, but it's not a huge issue. Oh, in fact, we do that normally. Oh, no, that's just the requirement. That's why we check for command center. I don't think the larval colony has a requirement. Yeah, it doesn't. All right. Town's Droleth. Add build. It's a 255. Yeah, so 255 creep colony. What is the we're looking at like 90. I think an average of, or it's like a baseline of 96 is what we decided on, or 95 it looks like for the production. You can do 95 and then 96 for the larval colony. Yeah, realistically, the only sanity check we need here is like local 255 at L larval 30 at larval colony blank return. That's pretty much all we need to worry about. Add hatchery. Wait, 12. Alright, jump on cycle 1, return 15. We don't even have to worry about that in the same thing here. It's the one thing that we won't have to worry about in this one. Go to add return. Hatchery. 96, 1. So we need like 20 as a cap or whatever. This is add layer. Towns, iRoll, iris, blank, return. I don't know. I guess we'll just do add layer. Oh, it's the lava form. This is Hive. On second thought, I actually will have the failsafe check in here for the maximum quantity because I don't want the AI thinking it's entered into a production cycle if it's already at max over here. It's kind of a moot point because if they're at max at this point, they probably don't need to build any more production structures ever because remember that we're talking about a maximum of 20, but I just don't want it to throw off the results of the function. All right, so we can just delete all this shit. Oh wait, it wouldn't be add return, would it? It would be add prod success. All right. Yeah, you can see that's a lot simpler in terms of its system now. We don't have to split shit arbitrarily because we already have the preferences that'll be handled either on a per build basis or a per user basis based on the map, like the map maker. So pretty nice there. I guess maybe there's an argument to be made here that we would say like res 13 at L, any 500. I guess it would be like at LC, any 500, add like 900. 100. Layer. That's great. Just so that we have a failsafe in here, if they're floating a ton of money, they shouldn't be going for the larval colonies first. They should be going for something that's going to actually require them to spend a lot of money. And then the other thing here is we have to add build 205 hatchery 99 120. Oh, instead of 99 it would be 5. Okay. Although maybe it should be something like add a hatchery secondary. Go to add prod success. This would be like no towns or yeah, I guess it would be like no towns hatchery add hatchery secondary. Times layer, add layer secondary, and then add this down here. Yeah, so I guess this has to be like local 255 ex0. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that should be pretty robust. I can't imagine things getting out of hand there. That way we don't have to add build hatchery every single time. We can just get the initial request of the higher tier production structure, and then if they don't have anything here, then... Yeah. I guess the only thing I am worried about a little bit is that if the requests aren't high priority enough, then they might get fucked. I don't know. Maybe we'll just evaluate that over time. Like if I see like hive requests or whatever that are never getting satisfied, even though there are the requisite hatchery requests, then that's something that I'll look into later. I sure am hoping it won't be the case, obviously. Already did that recently. Okay. All right. So now we've got the revised production. I think maybe it's time to give it a shot. Obviously, the build orders have not been updated to make use of this stuff, but Preful Max, Lisk. Oh, this is supposed to be Calcolisk. Oops. Thanks. Oh. Kiss record and Convlisk. All right. So yeah, let's take a look. Take a gander. Going to set Dark Swarm. For this build, I'd like to test out, or for this test rather, I would like to see if we can jump in here. We've got it's a Zerg General, right? I would say, how about we do Assault. We'll do 3-hatch Hydra. Yeah, I'd like to do Assault 3-hatch Hydra. So this will be 1, and then 1 for Dark Swarm, and then 1 for Larval Colony. Oh, I guess we should do the attack blocks too, huh? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we should do the attack setups. This is, so we'll say like Zerg, like Kizilisk. Well, actually, we don't have like a Bactylisk focused build, so this will be like a nice excuse for us to see that. We'd say Bactylisk, we'll say Zerg. We'll say Hydralisk and Bactylisk and What else do we want? Probably Gazithalor. Ricor and Gazithalor. Alright. Feels pretty good. I guess we'll say Zergus Thraithaleth. And Scathalor. Alright. So we've got a couple of things here set up. And now what we can do is... Yeah, here we go. It's going to be time to compare the add stuff. So we have add attack, which calls wait attack, and then sets can prod to 0 temporarily. Where is it? We'll get rid of can expand. Time jump 20 add gen. Okay, we don't need this for here. All right, we can do this as well. So it'll be add assault. Okay. All right, how did we do this for the Terrans here? We did add mech, raider, air, add gen, jumps to one of these. And I guess otherwise it defaults to raider. So I'd probably do like ran J. I guess there would never be a case where one of these would return true, probably. Unless they were completely parodied. Like all of them were the same number. So we'd say like 85, J, 128, go to add air. Add raider, add mech. I don't know why it's reordered that way. Really goofy. So you can already see that this is a much, much simpler stuff where add mech, or ATK mech in this case, is just calling some basic shit like mech heavy, mech salvo, mech machine, mech standard in that order, because that's the order of impact of the individual units. So it's like, obviously, the kind of a first come, first serve basis there. So if we do ATK swarm, it would be something like call ATK swarm. Obviously standard is like the easiest one. Then we do call ATK swarm. Heavy was like ultra core, so on and so forth. Ultra core, Cascathalor, Alcagilisk. And then I call ATK air standard. Swarm standard, air standard. And then I think after that we could do like call ATK assault special is the last one. And this is probably the play for ATK swarm in particular. Oh, I guess not. We probably want to call ATK assault standard. And and then maybe heavy is down here underneath special. So it's like in this order. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Just looking at this, like maybe special might deserve a higher spot. Something like this. Yeah. For Zerg, I'm doing it a little bit different, right? Because we don't have those clear delineations of I've got mech structures, therefore I should do this stuff, right? Like I should do X or Y. It's not going to be the same thing at all. So what I expect coming out of this in general is that we're going to have a very different look for some of this stuff, where I think each individual ATK block, swarm, assault, or air, all of them are going to call everything, where the difference maker is more the order, and obviously the preferences will dictate the balance. So depending on your preferences, you might have significantly more Zerglings than Nathracors. You might have significantly more Gazithalors than Vithrilisks, obviously. That kind of stuff is always going to come into play, I think. So just based on that, we can probably do a similar thing for ATK Assault, where it could be like call ATK Assault Heavy, call ATK Assault Standard, Assault Special, ATK Swarm Standard, ATK Swarm Heavy first, then Standard, ATK... I think there was... I don't know what I called it. I think it was like Assault Special is... Oh, maybe Swarm Special is Isthreth. Let me do Pref Isthreth. No, this is Assault Special. And I guess the Matrolith is Air Special, right? Okay, that makes sense. In that case, we want ATK Air Special here. And then Assault Special can go underneath Assault Standard. Or no, underneath Air Standard. That's probably how we'll handle that. So for ATK Assault, obviously, Assault Special, Swarm Heavy, Swarm Standard, and then call ATK Air Special, call ATK Air Standard, call ATK Air Heavy, Special Heavy, and then Standard, I think. And then ATK Air is obviously ATK Air Heavy, ATK Air Special. Oh, there's ATK Assault Air, which I shouldn't forget about. Jesus. Yeah, Assault Air. And then obviously we want that above Standard. Or maybe we want Standard above Air, to be honest. Alright. ATK Air Heavy, ATK Air Special, ATK Air Standard, ATK Air... Oh yeah, Standard should be above Special, ATK Assault Air, Swarm Standard... Swarm... Yeah, ATK Assault Standard, yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're missing one. We have Air Heavy, Standard, and Special. We have Assault Air. We have Swarm Standard, Swarm Heavy. We don't have Assault Heavy, I guess. Okay. And then we can get into the specifics. So we can say ATK Assault Standard. We'll say ATK Swarm Standard is like the first. And then it's var EX call. Right. Well, I guess it can be at least whatever. Pref Zergling 1. Okay, Zergling 13. Borgling 13. Call Pref Math. And this is kind of how they all look like, right? So. This is Pref Kizilisk. Yeah, this stuff is going to be the almost the bottom here. The assault special is Pref Zorius the last one. ATK Zorius the last 13. Okay, and then what else? Air standard and ATK air heavy. Okay, done with that. I feel like I'm missing something here, but I don't think so. I think we have everything. Oh, actually I am. I'm missing assault air. 50k assault air. Bar at L, call, ref, maximus one, call, ref, calculus. 10. Boom. So I think we've done pretty much all of the setup. We can actually start to plug stuff like this in now. This is where we would say, like, for example, we don't need to worry about larva counts for my money. I think we can just do... We can probably just do something like ATK Zergling is this. And then Vorvaling, Swarmmin will be what we use for Vorvaling. And then... Oh, I had some weird setup where this was like... hold on, let me see how I did this. Yeah, it's... So there's the 2, right? And then in the 2... The Q happens, and then the attack rel happens afterwards. So all I do is increase the attack rel that's done. So we do something like... We do no towns, Nathrock Lake, return, no towns. Oracle Pond, return. Spawning gold, return. EX0. Spawning pool, open Nathrock Lake. Return. And then ATK Zergling 2. This is pretty much the same thing. Right, and now up here I just have to make sure that all of my calls are to a secondary block. That way we don't like have an insane number of immediate queues, and instead it's just the queues happen only for the initial units that are called normally. So we've done that. I guess we'll use this for calculus. Oh, wait. All right. Okay. Just make sure those are all the way at the bottom, because we definitely don't want those taking priority over anything. Oh wait, this should be ring between EX0, quasliquid, yeah, that. Return. Quaslis 2. Yeah, we can get rid of this too, because this is not anything anymore. What do we got here? Oh shit, I gotta scroll way up to find stuff. Jesus. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, we'll do something like this. And then... That's a lot of Hydralisk requests, I feel like. I guess if we see continued disproportionate usage of those, we'll be like, hey, we know what to do about that. All right. Say translate is then blank return. Hydralisk 2. Oops, that's not the right one. 2. Pretty easy stuff there. Okay. I can take this and get it up to... Where's my ultra core stuff? It's like way up here somewhere, right? Oh no, I passed it by already. There we go. Oh, well, that's fine too. Just need to move this underneath there. Nice. The other thing I have to do for Zerg and Protoss, where I didn't have to do this for Terran, is I have to make sure that based on the preferences, I adjust the tech paths, which is a very different look. Like, that's going to require a pretty heavy restructuring of essentially how the build orders play out, I guess, as well as obviously, like, what else I want. Maybe the build orders will still be fine, and I don't really have to change those as much, but after when we go to the finish blocks where it's like, oh, you should be building this tech path, like this is how you're going to tech up, I am going to have to defer to the preferences over the more conventional sort of general setup that I have right now. That is going to require a little bit of engineering. Not sure how I'm going to handle that one. Oh, I just remembered. I have to remove that. Return there. All right. All right, we don't need any of this. I think my dog's getting pranked. Right, so I wasn't able to debut the AI just yet on stream, unfortunately. However, I will say it's been a pretty good outing, like definitely more immediate progress on the systems that I thought I was going to make. And I'm pretty happy with how things have gone, all things considered. So I definitely need to test some of this stuff out, but we're not quite ready yet because I have to implement a whole new system, which I was just talking about, the tech stuff. Still, we seem on track for a pretty robust version of the Zerg script, certainly the best that it'll ever have been hitherto. So I'm definitely hyped to get that started. Right now, I'm going to take a break for maybe an hour or so. I will be back with another mod stream later today, so you guys can stay tuned for that. Obviously, I will be focusing a little bit more on the campaign side of things and planning. Maybe I'll do an AI test or something at the beginning just to show off the progress, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. That'll be it for me for now, so just stay tuned for later on, and yeah, thanks for hanging out.